All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to talk about a single principle that can absolutely transform your writing. It's all about moving from telling to showing. And trust me, it's the secret sauce that makes a reader feel like they are right there with you, living your story. Let's get into it.
So, have you ever had this happen? You write something, you read it back, and you just think, something's missing. In your head, the story is this epic, exciting thing, but the words on the page just kind of lie there. If that sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone, and we are about to fix it.
Okay, check this out. This is the whole idea in a nutshell. On the left, we just tell the reader a fact. It was cold. Fine. But look at the right. The icy wind slid down my sleeves and made my teeth chatter. Wow. You can feel that, can't you? That's the difference. One is just information. The other is an experience.
So, how do we actually make that jump from telling to showing? Well, our first tool in the toolbox is all about using vivid details. Think of these as your secret weapon for pulling the reader right into the world you're creating on the page.
So what are vivid details, really? Simply put, they're the little specifics that connect to our senses. They're the words that help your reader see the colors, hear the sounds, and feel the textures of your story. You stop being just a writer and become an artist, painting pictures with your words.
And that's the big mindset shift we're aiming for here. You're not a reporter just listing the facts of what happened. Nope. You are a creator of experiences. The goal is to make your reader's heart pound, or make them laugh out loud, or give them goosebumps right there with your characters.
Okay, so if vivid details paint the scene, our next tool is what gives that scene a voice. Let's talk about adding dialogue, because this is how you make your stories feel incredibly real.
Dialogue is pretty simple. It's just what your characters say out loud. But when you put their exact words in quotation marks, something magic happens. It makes the whole thing feel so immediate, so personal. It's the difference between reading a summary of a chat and actually listening in on a real conversation. And this right here is a perfect example of how powerful it is. I told my brother I was nervous. Okay, we get the point. But when you read, "I can't do this," I whispered. "What if I mess up?" Whoa. We don't just know they're nervous. We feel their shaky breath and hear the doubt in their voice. It reveals so much more. So we've got our two power tools, vivid details and dialogue. But, knowing what a tool is and knowing how to use it are two different things. So let's move from theory to practice and see how these really work.
All right, it's your turn. I've got a challenge for you. Take this really simple sentence, "I was scared." How would you rewrite that to show the fear instead of just telling me about it? Take a second and think, what does being scared feel like in your body? What's something you might say? You could come up with a million amazing options for that one. But here's an idea. Instead of "I was scared," you could show it with a vivid detail, like this: "My heart hammered against my ribs like a trapped bird." See? That image just instantly creates a feeling. It's so much more powerful.
Now let's see what happens when we combine the tools. The before version, it's fine, it tells us the facts. But the after, oh, it's a whole movie. We see the action. My backpack bounced against my back as I sprinted. Then we get that dialogue, "Nice of you to join us." And paired with that tiny little detail of raising an eyebrow, that shows us she's upset without ever having to say the word. Look, learning to write this way is awesome, but these tools have a purpose that goes way beyond just getting a good grade. This is about understanding why your story and how you choose to tell it actually truly matters. I want you to really let this sink in. Don't just say it, show it. Like a memory made of light and sound. Your words can literally create memories for someone else. You're building worlds for them. That's an absolutely incredible gift to have. And get this. These tools aren't new, they're ancient, and they are powerful. For instance, the Gospels in the Bible, they use these exact techniques. All that dialogue and all those vivid details are what make these stories feel so real and immediate, even thousands of years later. This is a perfect illustration. The story doesn't just summarize and say, "Jesus calmed the storm." No way. It puts us right in the boat. We hear his direct words, "Peace, be still." The scene uses dialogue and action to show his power, which is way more impactful than a simple description could ever be. And this brings us to a really deep and beautiful purpose. When you learn to write with this kind of power, painting pictures with your words and speaking your truth, you're doing more than just telling a good story. You're giving other people a window into your world, and maybe, just maybe, a glimpse of the bigger story God is writing in all of our lives.
So the crucial point is this. Never, ever underestimate the power of your words. With these tools, with vivid details and real dialogue, you can literally build worlds. You can share truths that matter, and you can show the bigger story that's unfolding. That is the real goal of becoming a powerful storyteller. And all this leads to one last, really crucial idea. Learning a skill like writing is amazing, but what truly matters is the heart behind it. Because education without morality can be dangerous, but a spiritual mind can lead to real peace. It all comes down to this: using your gifts for good, using your story to build people up, to share truth, to connect. That's what really matters. Now go and show the world your story.